Hello, this is the 72nd daily update today. And the situation since yesterday, um, yesterday I got everything done that I was supposed to do, did all the weekly reset objectives, and took some time off to do things that I enjoyed. I'm listening now to an audiobook on the Second World War, actually, and it's been actually very, very good. I've really enjoyed it. But I do think that I want to limit the amount of new audiobooks that I'm consuming for the time being, because I think it's like um, it's sort of uh, especially in this phase of like of 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 um, of my plan for improvement, where there's a lot of advances that are being made on multiple fronts. I think it's important that I remain very focused on this journey and on the areas I'm trying to improve. And I think that if I begin to introduce, a lot of other audiobooks, things that will draw my attention in different directions, I'll lose that focus that I have. Um, so so that's essentially the idea, is to keep. So I will finish listening to this audiobook, but I think afterwards I will return back to focus on um, sort of the main tasks that I'm following, trying to improve. Um, and so yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I did that yesterday. Did my last 3.5 miles run. Uh, this today I did a 4 mile run, my first 4 mile run, and I did all my exercise and stuff. And now this is the last thing that I have left to do in my morning routine. And and I woke up at 4:30 in the morning as well. It turned out to be pretty easy to adjust my schedule. I slept around 8:30 yesterday, and woke up around 4:30 today with no problems. So it was pretty easy to do that. And um, I think it fits into what I was saying earlier, where I feel like I naturally end up embracing that schedule. Like it just lines up with what feels comfortable for me, what naturally happens usually, where I just tend to wake up very early. So that's the schedule that we'll try to implement. And the beautiful thing about it is now it's still before 9 a.m. and I'm pretty much done with my morning routine. So I can start working around 9, which is perfect for me. So I'll begin working today. Today we have 2 hours, 15 minutes of work. We'll take it one step at a time and reward myself throughout, um, uh, as we make our progress through the work. And yeah, that's essentially it. One last thing is, I have sort of, as part of my trying to improve my socializing, I think I am trying to sort of well, okay, I have essentially ideas about what to do about that. Um, but it's a long discussion. So actually, I just decided I will kind of present this plan a little later. So I'll hold off on presenting it for now. Um, and we'll talk about that though sometime in the near future. But the basics of the idea is, I think that telling the truth, like speaking the truth, is really, really important, um, both for being more comfortable and confident in public, and also for sustaining relationships for a long time. And I haven't quite decided, where those bounds are, you know, but I think a few things that I am sure about is that lies that I've uh, said in the past that make me feel bad, that make me feel um like just guilty or like uncomfortable to think about or talk about, that those have to be um compensated for in some way. And I have sort of an idea about how to do that, but it's still a nascent idea. It's still not fully developed. But the idea is pretty much that if, for example, I feel like I lied about something, or I have lied about something, if I would like to make up for that, well, one way is to actually follow through with that thing. So, for example, if I said I read something that I did not read, then the way to make up for that lie is to actually read that thing. You know, so where it's possible, we make up for lies by actually doing the thing that we lied about. I think that's part of it. Part of it is just getting the daily practice of always telling the truth. And we can begin with telling the truth, uncomfortable truths, either here, like in this um, podcast, or to the therapist. Again, it's that practice of being able to speak about things, saying things that might be uncomfortable but true. And getting that practice, I think, will help a lot for in the future to prevent this from happening. Or over the phone with my family, if I'm over the phone talking to them, being able to say the truth then. I think those three situations are essentially practice to be able to speak the truth honestly, and to articulate my thoughts correctly, accurately, precisely. So that's essentially the idea, is to use those opportunities to tell the truth. So there's sort of two strategies. There's making up for lies I've said in the past, and practicing telling the truth now. And we can kind of experiment with what telling the truth can mean. So does telling the truth mean that you have to say everything that comes into your head? I don't think so. I don't think that that's what it means. It does, I think, mean being more honest about how one feels than I currently am. Um, but but it but that will need to be something that will be learned over time. And it's okay if I don't know exactly what telling the truth exactly means for me. Um, at the beginning, I think we can improve over time. And um, the more you try to improve in this domain, the more clear it will be to you what that means, what telling the truth means for you, what will satisfy your conscience and make you feel strong. Um, so that's something that I'll be working on. Now, there's the question about what about lies that cannot be made up for. So, like, what if you said a lie, but that lie either was to a person that is no longer like in your life, or the lie was something that you can't like make or can't do. And so that's a question that I still haven't really um, solved. So, but it's something that I should think about maybe. So that's that. Um, yeah. So that's where I am. But today I'm just gonna focus on those 2 hours, 15 minutes of work, doing that, and moving on from there. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow, where we'll discuss more things. And I'll let you know how my first 2 hours and 15 minutes of work went. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.